It was unbelievable. There had to have been about 25 messages when I got back to my hotel room.
You're kidding.
They all loved my presentation and all wanted a copy of my paper.
Well, Brooke, that's excellent.
I knew it was good, but I didn't think it would cause this much excitement.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to read this little paper of yours.
It's pretty scientific, Stormy.
Oh, I see. I wouldn't understand it.
You might not, Big Brother. Any more than I would understand legalese. Speaking of which, how is your practice going?
Good. We're getting busier every day. I hear about the Forrester investigation from time to time.
Anything specific?
No, not really, but it is top priority. I think they'll get this guy.
I know Lieutenant Burke's been back to the house a few times.
The house?
I've been there so much that I feel like it's home.
Well, it will be again.
Not unless Ridge wants it that way.
Brooke, I gotta hand it to you. This decision that you made, it took a lot of courage.
Or a lot of stupidity.
Oh, now, come on. You don't believe that.
I have to wonder. I had everything over there, Stormy. The man I love. The life I dreamed about. Everything but a commitment.
Which is a damn good reason to leave.
I wonder if Ridge is going to call me.
If? Where is all this hesitancy coming from?
I don't know. I can't quite figure it out. Either Stephanie has gotten to him, or Caroline. But Stormy, he's been acting really differently towards me.
He was recently shot in the head, Brooke.
No, there is more to it. I can sense it. That's why I'm gonna stay here until he phones. Once and for all, I have to find out where I stand.
How much of this did you order?
30 bolts.
Get 50. That's great stuff.
Okay, what about the suede now?
Have you shown it to the dyer?
Yeah, in fact, he tried this in olive and it came out really, really beautiful.
All right, see how much you can get. I want to mix it with cotton.
What, for a jacket?
Yeah, hip length. I've got it roughed out at the office.
Okay. Speaking of the office, I take it you heard about Garrison.
He's got a place of his own now? Yes, Dad told me.
What do you think?
I say we keep an eye on the guy.
Amen to that.
So anything else here?
Yeah. I understand Brooke was by earlier.
Yeah, she was.
That must have been an interesting visit.
Why?
Well, because she came over to my office later.
Really?
You still haven't talked to her?
No.
You better give her a call.
What's going on?
Well, she's not going to be sleeping at the house tonight.
Where's she gonna be sleeping?
What the hell is going on with you two?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Brooke seems to think that you don't want her around.
I've never told her that.
Well, what did you tell her? Look, Ridge, it's none of my business, but the lady is feeling really insecure. You want her to feel insecure?
Look, I'll deal with Logan. It's no big deal.
Well, it is to her.
What exactly did she tell you?
Well, she seems to think that something must have gone on while she was in Chicago. Did something happen?
You're early.
Yep.
Want a martini?
No, not yet. Anything happened today?
Oh, I see. You're wondering why I'm having a drink at this hour?
Why are you?
It's been a long and trying day.
Anything to do with Lieutenant Burke?
He was here earlier.
Yeah, I know. He just left my office. He told me something I'm having a little trouble with. Something you said to me.
the bold and the beautiful. This portion sponsored by Puffs and Puffs Plus facial tissues. We have a soft spot for noses.
What did the lieutenant tell you that I said?
He told me you want this investigation ended.
I said we both wanted it ended.
Yes, that's what he said.
And we do. Believe me, we do.
Why would you even say that, Stephanie?
Eric, this fellow is becoming a nuisance.
Look, I realize that you've had to deal with him a lot more than I have.
Deal? That's an understatement. He's become literally a fixture around this house, and if he isn't here, then he's down at the office pestering you and Thorne.
He's doing his job.
His job is to conduct a criminal investigation. It is not to harass our family.
All right, I'll speak to him.
It isn't going to do any good.
No, if he's bothering you, Stephanie, believe me, I'll end this. I'll call him right now.
Eric, that isn't going to stop him.
Will you let me handle this?
Will you please listen to me? This fellow has delusions of grandeur. Eric, we're a very famous family. You're a very famous designer. Our eldest son has been shot. He's not going to buy into the simple theory that a prowler has shot Ridge.
We don't know that a prowler shot Ridge.
Now you sound like him.
Lieutenant Burke has a very strong rationale for believing that it may be someone other than a prowler.
And do you buy that?
I accept the possibility, and I'm surprised that you don't.
You're forgetting something. I saw who did it.
You just saw a form.
Yes, but it wasn't a familiar form.
You know, something is becoming painfully clear to me. That you are threatened by Lieutenant Burke and by his investigation. I want you to tell me why, Stephanie.
Dr. Cameron?
Oh. You must be Mrs. Forrester.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I offer you a cup of coffee or tea?
No, thank you.
Please, let's get started. Why have you come to see me, Mrs. Forrester?
I have a problem. A very serious problem, and I would like you to solve it for me.
I don't solve problems. I just make suggestions.
Suggestions?
About how you might see yourself and others, so that you can better understand and cope with your feelings.
I see. Well, I'm really more looking for solutions.
Well, hopefully you'll find your own solutions. Ones with which you will feel comfortable.
How long does that take?
How severe do you think your problem is?
Very.
Well, why don't you try to identify it for me?
Well, it's very clear to me, actually. It's my marriage.
Excuse me. I didn't realize you were here for marriage counseling. I thought that you came to see me for individual therapy.
Well, I have. I mean, my husband will not be joining me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please, continue.
I think I'll have that tea. I am married to a really wonderful man. And I wouldn't say that I have a complaint about him. But, well, you know, you might even say that I'm in love with him.
But?
I'm extremely attracted to another man. In fact, to be honest, I'm very much in love with another man.
You love two men? Each for different reasons?
Yes, I guess.
Your husband doesn't know anything about this?
Well, he knows that something's not quite right, but he doesn't know exactly why.
What makes you say that he knows things aren't right?
Well, for one thing, I'm not really able to make love to him.
How long has this gone on?
Well, with very few, really only one exception, several months.
And, how would you say your sex life with your husband was before this happened?
Well, adequate. We haven't been married very long.
Have you discussed this with him?
My inability to respond to him, yes, I have.
In those terms?
Well, I think at first he really thought it was more his fault.
And what about the other man?
Thorne doesn't know about him. If he knew, it would really kill him. The other man is Thorne's brother.
You're asking me if something happened when Brooke was in Chicago?
Yeah,
Like what, for example?
I don't know. It's really Brooke's concern, not mine.
Well, I'll handle Brooke.
Suit yourself. I just thought you might like to know that she's going back to her house.
That won't last long.
You know, Ridge, you don't take her very seriously. And you just might have to this time, or she's not gonna come back.
You made a decision, Brooke. A smart decision. And Ridge has got to respect you for that.
Respect. Suddenly, that's my big priority.
Nothing wrong with that.
But what if he doesn't want me back?
Then it's his loss.
Is it?
Sis, don't you ever doubt that.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I should stand my ground. If Ridge wants me and he loves me, he has to come after me.
If Ridge was to ask you to move back in with him, would you?
Yeah, I suppose I would. But Storm, what I really want is for Ridge to
Propose to you. That's what this is all about, isn't it?
More than anything in the world, I want to be Mrs. Ridge Forrester. I love him so desperately.
I mean it, Ridge. May not be as easy as you think. Brooke wants a commitment.
Do I look worried?
No. And maybe you should be.
I think Brooke's just had it with Mother being on her case all the time.
I think it's a little more than that.
Look, we just relax. I mean, what are you worried about?
Do I look worried?
Yes, you do.
I just think you might be in for a real big surprise. The lady that I talked to this afternoon is not coming back without a guarantee.
Would you like to put a little wager on that? A 50 says Logan won't let me spend one night alone in that house.
All right, you're on. That's one bet I hope I lose.
I'm not threatened by the lieutenant.
Yes, you are. Why?
All right, I am. And you should be too, because he's on a frightening tack.
What are you talking about?
Eric, you have talked to him. You know, you hear the questions he's asking about Thorne.
So let's let him ask. He's not going to find anything.
Can't you see where this can lead?
Ultimately, it will turn him in a different direction. And as far as I'm concerned, that's reason enough to let him go on.
Eric, he knows about our personal lives, about the conflict between Ridge and Thorne over Caroline. You don't want to see that opened up all over again, do you?
No. No, I don't want to see all that opened up, but we're talking about attempted murder here. Someone shot Ridge in the head. And that person is still out there. And that person might try it again. And I'm damned if I'm going to let you or anybody else discourage the police from finding out who did this.
Anyway, after all of that, I married Thorne last December.
Anything else?
Isn't that enough?
Let's go back to your involvement with Ridge. Can you answer a few questions about that?
Yes.
Now, you say that a few days before the wedding, your father had him follow, and that he was found in a hotel room with a woman. How did that make you feel?
Well, I felt hurt and angry, very deeply disillusioned.
And now?
Now?
When you think about it, how does it make you feel now? Do you still have the anger, the hurt, the disillusionment? Let me rephrase that. Do you still feel the same anger and hurt now as you did when your father showed you those photos of Ridge in bed with that woman?
No.
What do you attribute that to?
Time, I guess.
Possibly change in values?
I don't think my values have changed that much.
So generally speaking, if the same thing were to happen today,
I would be just as hurt.
has Thorne ever let you down, like his brother did?
No.
What about any other way?
Thorne is probably the most considerate man in the world.
Why don't you tell me about that?
Thorne would never intentionally disappoint me, even if his life depended on it.
And what do you think about that?
I think that is exactly my problem. How do I tell a man who is that decent and that good that I'm in love with his brother?
Well, is that what you want to do, Caroline? Do you want to tell him that you are in love with his brother? That's something for you to think about. Look, I'd like to see you again in a couple of days. Here's the list of times that I'm available. Why don't you check it with your schedule? Give me a call later today. I'll set up another appointment.
You're saying that we're finished?
For today, yes.
I need to go away with more than this.
Caroline, this is going to take some time.
I don't have time. I can't go on living like this. Didn't you understand anything I've just said?
Yes, I do understand.
I'm very sorry. I guess I'm acting desperate.
Look, this is just the beginning, but it's a good one. I think you'd be surprised how much progress you can make after just a couple of sessions. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Eric, the man that shot Ridge is gone. There are no clues. There are no fingerprints. The police are never going to find him.
That's not what Lieutenant Burke thinks.
But that's because he thinks Thorne did it. And he's not going to leave any stone unturned. He's going to talk to Ridge and Caroline and
Why
you
is
and...
that so terrifying? To be questioned about a crime you didn't commit?
Look at it this way, please. It's going to open old wounds. Don't you understand? He's going to go to Ridge and he's going to say, why do you think your brother would have been motivated to shoot you? It's all going to come out about Caroline. I don't want that to happen.
Stephanie, it can't be avoided, and it won't be avoided. It's the price we have to pay, and we're going to pay it.
Do you think it's that simple? What about the lives of our sons?
Our sons can cope with it. They're not children, damn it. Now, this investigation is going to continue. I'm going to give it all our unqualified support. I want to find the man who shot Ridge, and I want to see that he goes behind bars. And I'm convinced, frankly, that this Lieutenant Burke is just the person to do it.
Yes, I think you're right. I think Lieutenant Burke is just the man to put him behind bars. Unfortunately. That man is your son. Thorne shot Ridge.
Mom, Dad. What's going on?